Hi, welcome to the Carmichael workshop. Today I'm going to use this scrap plywood to make a pair of workshop bookends. In my shop I only have two books. I have this one on making an electric guitar, and I have this one that's the complete manual of woodworking. And I really like this book a lot. I recommend it, especially if you're new to woodworking, because it explains the basics of just about everything. But I usually check out books from the library instead of buying them, or get information online, so that's really why I only have two books out here. But I do have a lot of instruction manuals that came with my tools, and I also keep catalogs and sales flyers and magazines on hand to get ideas. So it will be good to have a pair of workshop bookends that will organize all this material. Alright guys, to get started, I'm going to have to take the old saw blade off of my skill saw. So let's get this stuff out of the way and get this saw blade off. I've drawn a red line down the center of the saw blade, and now I'm going to cut it in half. I suppose I could cut it with a hacksaw, but it would be a lot more fun to go outside and cut it with the angle grinder. Well, that was fun. It's not exactly straight, but it doesn't matter. So now I need to work on cutting the boards for the bookends. All 6 of the boards that I'm going to use for the bookends need to be 6 inches deep. So I've set up my fence 6 inches away from the blade, and I'm going to cut them all at the same time. Now I'm going to cut all 6 boards to 7 1/4 inches long. Alright, I got all my boards cut, and I decided to keep it simple and just make them all 6 inches by 7 1/4 inches. So now I'm just going to head over to the bandsaw and round off some of the corners. Well, here's what the workshop bookends are going to look like. And you're probably wondering what the saw blades are for. Well, I'm going to cut grooves in these end pieces and glue in the saw blades on the outside of the bookends. Alright, I've got the grooves cut so that I can put the saw blades in them. And I've given everything a light sanding. And I really like the look of the black against the exposed plywood edges. I think it gives it a real workshop-ish feel. So I'm going to cover all the edges with masking tape and then give both sides of each board a nice coat of this black Rust-Oleum 2X paint. Well, I've got all the boards painted and ready to assemble. To put it together, I'm just going to use some glue on these joints and insert screws from underneath the bottom pieces. And then I'm just going to glue in the saw blades with some epoxy. And here they are, the workshop bookends. I ended up spraying the plywood edges with some clear lacquer to make them pop. And on the bottom, I attached some of this non-skid shelf liner with spray adhesive, and these suckers do not slide around. So over here I've got my magazines, catalogs, and sales flyers, and in the middle I've got my 2 books, and over here I've got the instructions for all my tools. So it's really nice to have all this stuff organized and in one spot so I can easily find it. So I've got my saw blade clock up here, and I've got a pair of saw blade bookends. I'd love to hear from all of you if you found a project that you can make using an old dull saw blade. So please leave me a comment. Also, leave me a comment if you have any book recommendations. I'd like to add a third book to my collection. Maybe that hybrid woodworking book would be good. So if you'd like to make a pair of these, they're really simple, and I say go for it. Also in the video description, I'll include links to some other videos where they've made bookends, so maybe you can get some other ideas. I'd like to say thank you to all of my subscribers and everyone who watches my videos. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, welcome to the Carmichael Workshop, where I like to make fun woodworking projects. I try to post a new video every week, so please click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my videos. Also, go check out my website at thecarmichaelworkshop.com, where you'll find instructions, photos, free plans, and links to my other social media sites. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.